Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to the Sunflower Path. My name is Jess, and I'm going to be looking at Mercury Retrograde as it will begin November 9th and last until about November 29th. It will begin in Sagittarius, so your own sign, and end in Scorpio. I think by November 18th, it'll switch to Scorpio. And Mercury retrogrades are all about reassessing your plans and ideas. It can begin with false starts and can bring up some shakeups in foundations, and things may be at odds in communication with travel and technology. Exes or old friends may return. And since I think in the US this is during like Thanksgiving, it's going to create some awkward or heated debates. And it's just better to plan for these things and plan for delays. And it's also not the best time for like contracts. It is happening first in your first house, which is the house of self-image, the first impression we make, how we begin things, our defense mechanisms, our relationship with our immediate environment, and our general outlook on life, and sometimes our even like physical appearance. So with a Mercury retrograde going through your first house, it's first going to impact the way you are viewed by other people, how you are interacting with them on an everyday basis, how you view yourself in terms of like self-image. If you want to change your appearance, now is not the time. People may perceive you to be one thing when you're actually something else. A very good example that I guess would be like maybe they perceive you to be like this. This is a horrible example, but this is the one that's coming to mind. Like perhaps you're someone who's more on the alternative vibe, like goth or emo. So people might perceive you to be this harsh grunge type person when in reality you can be incredibly warm and inviting and want to talk to everyone. Because Mercury retrograde kind of messes with that. But by November 18th, when it switches to Scorpio, it's going to go through your 12th house. And that's everything that's below the surface. That's karma, it's hidden strengths or weaknesses, it's dreams. It might create some shakeups in your private affairs, some past life themes might come up, whether that be fears or fantasies that come through. Some of your deepest psychological anxieties might come through. Addictions might come up. Your hidden enemies, where have you suffered the most? So Mercury retrograde may cause that to resurface. So I want to look at what do you need to revisit during Mercury retrograde? What do you need to release? What are some unknown factors you need to be aware of? What precautions you can take? What needs a rest? And what will keep you in balance? And then I'll pull some oracle cards for any additional messages that want to come through. Oh, didn't want to go. Okay. Okay. So we're going to start with these 3 cards first. I'm just going to see if the camera will actually capture it or if the light's a little too strong on them. But what you need to revisit is the High Priestess. And then what I would recommend that you release is the Devil. Yeah, the camera's kind of blinking. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can kind of fix that. We're in the shadow period of retrograde, so technology may already begin kind of acting up wonky and whatnot. All right, so it should be fine now. Are you good? Still blinking. Okay. So as the High Priestess, I'm going to go with it. Make sure the technology is already like working, because I think it's fine now. But the High Priestess, and what you need to revisit is your intuition, any hidden knowledge. Like if you can see the owl here, that's all secrecy, intelligence. Owls were often associated with Athena or Minerva, depending upon if you go with the Romans or the Greek names. It's trusting your inner voice. It's looking beyond the surface level stuff to really dig deep to find answer, which fits in with the 12th house themes. Really go into your subconscious mind and trust your inner voice. Maybe you've been questioning your intuition, whether or not that is your intuition or fears and anxieties. Really return to meditation, or maybe some of you practice yoga and mindfulness and gave that up for a bit to focus on other things. Or maybe that's something you can begin. But it's really about looking beyond the veil, because she's got like this I actually don't know what that is. I don't think it's a cape, but with the pomegranate here, that's often themes of like Persephone going to the underworld, which, it is that time of year. And maybe that's something you can also resonate with if you're working with Persephone as one of your deities. If any of my Sagittarius groups are watching me and they may be witchy. But it's, it's the underworld theme, and I think it's interesting that lift up. I think it's interesting that the devil card is here too, because oftentimes the devil is associated with the underworld. Although this is something to be released, I'm wondering if any of you are working with or living with a Capricorn, as Capricorn's usually associated with this card. But to go back to that, revisit your intuition. Try to learn more about your intuition and seeking hidden information, secrets. You're going to be highly desirable when Mercury retrograde is going through your first house. So just be aware of anyone who's coming back into your life who may want a piece of that pomegranate. She's also like a representation of the divine feminine. So perhaps a revisit to what femininity means to you. But right now, for me, it's coming across as a message to quiet the noise around you, to figure out what secrets maybe keep being kept from you. Trust your instincts. Your intuition is stronger than you give it credit for. Recognize your own power is also a theme, because Persephone is pretty strong and well known in the mythologies. She's queen of the underworld. And as what to release, this is a fear, goodness, of the unknown. It could be attached, like toxic attachments, because there's chains here, and I'm wondering how long those chains have been there. It could be old habits. It could be attachments to people who you should no longer be associated with. The devil could also be like overindulgence, perhaps addictions that you need to release and let go of. Take a look at your old bad habits that may be returning. But also, because we're going through the 12th house, I'm wondering if these are hidden enemies that you need to figure out who they are, people who are not who they say they are, and are creating this environment of dependency. Like they're manipulative and controlling, and I want to say taking your power away, because they know that you can stand on your own and they want to break that. So, what are unknown factors to be aware of with the Ace of Wands here? Those are new projects, new ideas, new passions. For those, I want to keep it PG because that wand can represent a certain body part. So if this is something to be released, maybe it's a relationship, a situationship, if you will, that needs to be released and removed from your life, because it brings more drama than you really want. It could also be, as unknown factors you need to be aware of, it could be also creative potential, breakthroughs that may come through right now, opportunities for growth. These are call to actions, and I think it's really interesting that we have foxes here, because that's trickster energy, shapeshifter energy. Again, people not who they say they are. You could be feeling stuck with them, but this is a new beginning. You have the ability to take those actions to seize the opportunity to break away from these attachments and old bad habits that no longer serve you. You can manifest your desires, especially since with aces, that's all about new beginnings. So, what new creative project do you want to begin on? What is something that aligns with your passions? Because right now you have the ability to turn passion into action, inspirations into realities. any brilliant ideas or a moment of clarity, I guess, could offer a new way to solve an old problem. I'm going to look at what precautions you can take. Seven of Cups. What needs rest then? And what will help you keep in balance? Ooh. That was a whole, like, 20 cards. Try that again. There we go. Okay, the Ten of Swords. Don't panic. All right, we'll look at Seven of Cups first. So this is a precaution to take. So with Seven of Cups, you have many options and like cups available to you, right? But you don't know what's in each cup until you make that decision. So really be careful about what decisions you're making. Reevaluate, investigate more to see what opportunities, I guess opportunities that are coming up, are being made available to you. Don't sign anything, particularly if new contracts come up, because oftentimes what I see is that people regret the decision that they made, the contract that they signed and can't get out of. Be aware of fantasies that may bring disillusionment. Like, really take a step back and be cautious about making decisions, because it looks like a whole abundance of opportunities, but some may be unrealistic to achieve or not in your favor. Like, it looks sweet, but not really. Look beyond the surface. Really investigate to see what secrets are being held from you, because if you have so many options open to you, there, I guarantee you, one out of the seven is going to be poison in that cup. So just be weary of what options are being made available to you. Focus on your values, because that will guide you to making the right decision. You can even wait, if you can, until after November 29th to make use of these options and opportunities. Just make sure that the decision that you make is really grounded in who you are. So you don't regret it later on. What needs rest is the Emperor. As rest, the Emperor, because these may be male figures. I wonder if some of you want to get away from a father figure, or maybe you want to tell your father figure to take a break. They may be creating too much too much structure, too much authority, and you might want to break free from that. Maybe also take a break from being in charge all the time. From acting as the authority figure. I think it's interesting that the Emperor and High Priestess came up. So they're both high level people. You may be struggling with structure right now, so you might want to break from that. Since it's also, you got cardinal signs here, so Capricorn and Aries. I wonder if any of my Sagittarius are dealing with those two signs. But this is also a card of stability. Maybe you want to rest in that stability. Especially if it's with Mercury retrograde going through your 12th house. You may look for structure because the 12th house kind of dissolves everything. There really is no structure in the 12th house. But you might want to rest in that sense of like a source of protection and guidance. So I wonder if you have someone in your life that you can go to and just rest with them, or maybe you want to take a break from being that figurehead all the time. We have feminine energy and masculine energy here. So take a break from your masculine energy, any masculine role that you've been in, and balance that with your feminine energy here. With the Ten of Swords as keeping you in balance. Ten of Swords is usually when you hit rock bottom. And that might be due to doing too much. Again, you might want to rest from being in that structure, in that balance all the time. You might be in need of balancing light and dark, because this is already like, usually there's like two pillars. I think it might be pillars. It's been a while since I've been pronouncing words wrong, but pillars of like light and darkness. And because this is the tunnel at the end of, or the light at the end of the tunnel, you might have already hit rock bottom. And need that as balance. And with it going through, again, your 12th house, you probably are exhausted. You're coming towards an end of a cycle, which the 12th house is the last house to deal with. And tens usually signify, this is a 4, 7, 2, what number is that? 15, 6. But 10, okay, you've got 110. Tens usually signify like an end of a cycle. So you've got a new beginning, and try to balance that. So you've hit rock bottom, and now you have the opportunity to start over again. It might have been like a painful end too. But there's acceptance and truth after like a period of mental exhaustion. But again, like there's a new dawn here. There's a new beginning. So you've got things that need to be released in order to have this new beginning. I'm going to look at your other cards here. See what other messages come through. Oh, well, look at that. New beginnings. You've got from chaos comes calm. So after the release of unhealthy attachments, old bad habits, maybe even a fear of unknown, after all that chaos, there comes a period of calmness. And I hope this period of calmness happens during the holidays so you can actually enjoy your break and relax from being in that masculine role and be in the receiving feminine role. I'm going to pull one more. If I remember what I did with them. Oh, they're right here. Beginnings. The daffodil, violet, copper. And behind that was spirituality. So let's see what each one is, and I'll leave it on that. There are new beginnings around us all the time. Anytime there is a change, there's a chance for new creation. Anytime something passes, there's a chance to start fresh. Every day brings a new dawn, a chance to start over, and another opportunity to do things we have always wanted to do and be the person we want to be. Make today the birth of the person you want to be. Let go of the past and thank it for helping you learn, grow, and start again. It doesn't matter how often you fall, maybe both of these, just that you get up again. It's never too late for a new beginning. And you've got new beginnings here. So you have plenty of new beginnings, Sagittarius. This is exciting for you. I just hope you get a chance to rest at the same time and just be careful of the decisions that or opportunities that come your way. I'm going to look at spirituality just because it's at the bottom here. This card calls you to contemplate your personal spirituality and how it affects your life and your happiness. Your personal spirituality is more profound than a belief in a god, gods, or religion. Interesting how I brought up Persephone and all the other deities. It embodies how you connect to others and that which is greater. It informs your sense of meaning and place in the world. Use your heart to decipher what feels true for you. Spirituality is the soil in which you grow. It nurtures, sustains, and connects you to everything within and beyond the mundane. Understanding your spirituality and belief will bring you a greater knowledge of who you are. All right, and the questions to ask yourself is, what is my spirituality and what do I know to be true for me? And I hope this helps, Sagittarius. Good luck during your Mercury retrograde. If this resonated, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.